the last melody in the bustling city of Chicago, where trains rumbled overhead and neon lights flickered late into the night, lived a 17-year-old boy named Daniel. He wasn't extraordinary in the eyes of the world, just another high school senior, tall and thin, with a mop of unruly brown hair and a gaze that often drifted to places far beyond the classroom windows. But inside him, Daniel carried a dream that kept him alive: music. Ever since he was a child, Daniel found comfort in the piano that sat in the corner of his family's living room. His father had bought it at a garage sale years before, scratched and out of tune, but it became Daniel's escape. Whenever life grew heavy, he would press the keys, and suddenly the world didn't feel so cruel. Yet life had been very cruel. 2 years ago, his mother, his biggest supporter, had died after a long illness. Since then, the house felt hollow, his father drowning himself in double shifts as a taxi driver, his little sister Lily retreating into silence. Daniel became both brother and parent to her, making sure she ate, did homework, and laughed at least once a day. Music was his secret sanctuary, but dreams cost money, and money was what they didn't have. The competition. One chilly November morning, Daniel's music teacher, Mrs. Alvarez, pulled him aside after class. "Daniel," she said, her kind eyes soft but serious, "there's a citywide competition next month. First prize is a scholarship to the Chicago Conservatory. It could change everything for you." Daniel's heart leaped. The conservatory was his dream, a place where music wasn't just a hobby, but a life. But just as quickly, doubt crushed him. He thought of the old piano at home, missing keys and cracked pedals. He thought of Lily's worn shoes, of unpaid bills stacked on the kitchen counter. "I can't," he whispered. Mrs. Alvarez placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Your mother once told me you had music in your soul. Don't let the world silence it." Broken keys that night. Daniel sat at the piano. Lily curled on the couch, hugging her teddy bear. "Play something," she whispered. "Mom used to love when you did." Daniel nodded, his fingers brushing the chipped keys. He began to play, but midway through the melody, a loud clunk echoed. The G key had broken completely. His chest tightened. How could he perform in a competition when even his piano betrayed him? He slammed the cover shut and buried his face in his hands. "This is stupid," he muttered. "I'll never make it." Lily patted over, her small hands tugging at his sleeve. "Mom used to fix my broken crayons with tape. Maybe you can fix the piano too." Daniel looked at her, startled. Her words reminded him of their mother's resilience. Maybe broken didn't mean useless. Maybe broken meant something new. A stranger's song. The next day, after school, Daniel wandered into a small music shop downtown. He stared at rows of shiny pianos, their polished surfaces reflecting dreams he couldn't afford. The shopkeeper, an older man with silver hair and kind eyes, noticed him lingering, looking for something. Daniel shook his head quickly, just wishing. The man studied him for a moment. "Play something." Daniel hesitated, then sat at a display piano. He began to play his unfinished composition, a melody of grief and hope intertwined. The notes filled the shop, fragile but powerful. When he stopped, the man's eyes glistened. "Your music carries weight, son. My wife used to play. She's gone now. Hearing you felt like she was here again." Daniel swallowed hard, not knowing what to say. The man handed him a slightly worn but functional keyboard. "Take this. It's no charge. Just promise me you'll keep playing." Daniel's jaw dropped. I can't accept." "You can," the man insisted. "Music like yours shouldn't go silent." The big night weeks passed. Daniel practicing late into the night while Lily hummed along. He poured everything into his piece: the loneliness, the memories of his mother, the quiet strength of his sister. The night of the competition arrived. The concert hall was grand, filled with polished floors and glittering chandeliers. Contestants sat nervously, some dressed in sharp suits, their families cheering from the audience. Daniel wore his father's old jacket, sleeves too long, and sat alone. Doubt gnawed at him. He wasn't like the others. He was just a boy from a broken home with a second-hand keyboard. When his name was called, his legs trembled. He walked onto the stage, the bright lights blinding. For a moment, panic seized him. Then he thought of Lily, of his mother, of the old piano at home. He closed his eyes, and his fingers began to dance. The melody was raw, imperfect, but full of life. It told a story of sorrow and survival, of broken keys and mended hearts. By the time the last note faded, the hall was silent. Then, slowly, applause erupted, filling every corner of the room. The aftermath: Daniel didn't win first place, but he won something else. The judges awarded him a special recognition scholarship, praising the emotional depth of his performance, enough to cover his tuition at the conservatory. Backstage, Lily threw her arms around him. "You did it, Danny. Mom would be so proud." Daniel hugged her tightly, tears streaming down his face. "No, Lily, we did it." The moral: years later, Daniel became a composer, his music known for its soulfulness. But he never forgot the broken piano, the kind stranger in the shop, or the sister who reminded him that broken things can still create beauty. Because sometimes dreams aren't about perfection, they're about persistence. And sometimes the last melody you almost give up on becomes the one that carries you through the darkness.